Now that we've learned how to use the keyframes and the puppet pin tool to create animated movement on our character, I'm going to show you a much faster way to lay down keyframes. So using the keyframes and doing it by hand, just moving the timekeeper and making a movement is sufficient, and it works good especially for really detailed work, but it can take a lot of time and there's a much faster way to do it. So I'll show you how to do that. What you need to do is hold down the command key on your keyboard and keep it held down while you're moving one of the limbs, and it'll actually record all the motion and plot all the keyframes for that motion. When you hold it down, a little clock will appear up here, and that's how you know it's started. And then as you make the movements, you'll see a gray outline, and that's the movement that's being recorded. When you let go of the command key, the recording will stop, and then you'll see all your keyframes plotted down here. It's a very fast way to get a lot of keyframes laid down very quickly. So let me just demonstrate that. I'm going to hold down the command key, and I grab my button. I see the clock appear. I start moving the little shadow there. This is recording. As soon as I let go of the command key, I can see that all those keyframes have been plotted here. And now I can preview this and see what that looks like. Now that I have recorded the motion for the front paw, I can go ahead and move my time indicator back to the beginning, and I can start to record the motion for another limb. So I'm going to go ahead and make this tail wag, and again I'll just hold down my command key and record the motions. Now that I've laid that down, I can go ahead and hit play, which, by the way, space bar on my keyboard is the shortcut for play and stop. So I just go ahead and hit my space bar and see how that looks. So now that I've shown you how to record your movements and track a whole lot of keyframes all at once, I want to show you how you can just go in, also see where those keyframes are and edit them. So under my layer 2 that I've been working with, I find the puppet. Then under here I find mesh 1. Under mesh 1 I can open up deform, and I can see each of the puppet pins. Puppet pin 4 and puppet pin 6. So I can tell when I click on puppet pin 6, the front paw is highlighted, so I can tell that that's what that is. So I can actually come in here, open this up, and then I can move these keyframes around if I want to and kind of play with the timing on that. I can bunch this together so I can, fine tune that and adjust that. And then so you see here, if I click on puppet pin 4, you can see that my tail lights up, all the marks here. So then I can go ahead and open up puppet pin 4, and I can space this out the way that I want and make any adjustments that I want here. So, but using the record tool is just a fast way to lay down these keyframes. You can see how that's going to save a lot of time from just, making a movement, moving it, making a movement, moving it, making a movement. That could really eat up your time. So that record shortcut is going to be really useful for just laying down a whole lot of motion for you. I think that it's pretty clear that the puppet pin tool was pretty much designed for creatures like this to make limbs movable, and that's really, using the tool appropriately. And so, as an artist, sometimes I think it's important to use tools in ways that they weren't necessarily designed for. So that's what we're going to try next. So I'm going to close this layer here, and let's come over here to layer 3. Open this up, select layer 3, and let's use the puppet pin tool to create some interesting animations for this gas mask. I am going to make this, I guess you could call it a limb, move, but I also want to just try some other funky things and cause some interesting distorting movements with this mask. So first I'm just going to start adding some pins to it. Just get some areas along the outside here. And then I'm going to go ahead and start recording some motion. Again, I record by holding down the command key, and then start moving things around. So let me just try a few different things. Oh yeah, better move my time indicator to the beginning here. And now let's go ahead and record some stuff. Just going to flop this around, kind of stretch it out, make it weird. Go into the beat. Okay, there we go. Now let me try to do the other end. I'll try this one. Hold down the command key. I'll take a second to go ahead and hit save. Don't forget to save often. Sometimes After Effects can crash and you don't want to lose all the work that you've done, so just save after every time you do something important. Let's go ahead and hit play and see how that looks. Definitely some interesting, unique distortion going on there. So that's some interesting things we can do. Then remember, once we have that distortion going on, we can also play with some of the other effects. So I can make it fade in and out. I can make it rotate while that's happening. I can change the position, make it scroll across the screen, make it change in size, and all that can sort of add to it.